This is one of the first McDonald's to start using automated kiosks to take orders. How it works is that instead of walking up to a traditional cash register and giving your order to a human, you walk up to a computer screen, swipe, and press.
Not only does Bruno make a great artisanal pizza pie, he never calls in sick. He never needs a vacation, no pension or benefits, and he doesn't complain. In many ways, he's the perfect employee.
Look at that. It uses its malleable robotic hands, look at those blue hands there, to pick tomatoes off trees, pack eggs into cartons, and they're testing out this robotic strawberry picker. Take a look. It delicately picks the fruit without bruising it.
At a hardware store in Silicon Valley, Oshbot. Doorknobs.
Sure, follow me.
Are you serious?
Yep.
It's voice recognition software fluent in multiple languages and laser sensor safety technology can do a better job than many of America's 5 million or so retail workers.
They're just fine. They'll go around you.
Yeah.
So they can replan on the fly and make decisions about where to go and what to do. A lot of warehouse managers want where you can turn the lights off in a facility and just have it operating without any people in it.
With Virtual Source, you can now automate a much broader range of your call types for just 1/5 of the cost of a human agent. And best of all, they're available 24/7. They never get tired, they never ask for a raise, and you only pay for the time they're on the phone.
Hey Google, book a table for 2 at El Cocotero on Tuesday at 7.
Hi, I'm the Google Assistant calling to make a reservation for a client. This automated call will be recorded.
Tori Shorman worked in the mortgage department at a major Canadian bank. She sat by and watched as her colleagues were shown the door.
Just drag and drop. Powered by IBM Watson, Legalmation reviews and analyzes the complaint and prepares an initial draft answer, document requests, and interrogatories. A day's work in just a few minutes.
This is how a radiologist diagnoses pneumonia.
84-year-old female, shortness of breath period.
This is an algorithm called ChexNet that's trained to do the exact same task. And this is how it performed against 6 doctors analyzing 50 chest x-rays for pneumonia.
Right now we're able to read images about 10,000 times faster than human radiologists. So you can see that we just processed 765 studies. That's about 2 days worth of work for a normal radiologist. And we were able to process it in about 46 seconds.
It's gonna go wherever you want it to go. Follows you like a puppy dog.
Are you okay with the fact that this is going to replace thousands, maybe tens of thousands of caddies?
Absolutely, and this technology can be applied to other types of jobs as well. Porters, bellhops, stockroom clerks, anywhere where heavy lifting is involved.
Oh, these are the automated ones. Artificial intelligence and digital technology are moving and powering commerce here. Containers are lowered onto trailers, and within seconds those trucks drive off. They know where to turn, where to drive, and where to drop off their cargo. They even yield to each other when one crosses in front of the other, and there are no humans in sight.
Without jobs, there will be no economy. Robots do not pay taxes. Robots do not shop in our communities. Robots do not pay rent. They don't buy homes. They don't lease office space.
Every person that I see here is taking care of 4 other people, their family. Every single person you see. And that shows you how much trucking is feeding the country.
This is a conventional 18-wheeler that drives itself, thanks to a $30,000 retrofit. San Francisco startup Otto, which Uber bought this summer, made history with this truck.
If the average age is 55, what are these guys going to be computer programmers when they didn't finish high school? I doubt it.
We automate what we can automate, right? We're going to keep doing that. That's how we get more productive.
Everything's automated. So now you took my above the poverty line job. I say I'll just go work at a burger joint, and that's automated too. When does it stop?
What happens to people who simply can't acquire or don't have the skills that are going to be needed in the new economy?
I don't think it would be responsible to just let the consequences rip, and then we find that large numbers of people are displaced and miserable and angry and well-armed, and we just figure, well, let's see what happens.
Artificial intelligence is here, and it is accelerating. And you're going to have driverless cars, and you're going to have more and more automated services.
But we're not prepared for that. We're not prepared as a nation, and millions of Americans are not prepared with the skills.
There will be fewer and fewer jobs that a robot cannot do better. What to do about mass unemployment? This is going to be a massive social challenge.
And we're going to have to be more imaginative. And the pace of change is going to require us to do more fundamental reimagining of our social and political arrangements.
So I'm meeting with various legislators in D.C. being like, guys, what are we going to do? We're in the third inning of the greatest economic and technological transformation in the history of the country. What is the plan? The responses I got were, we can't talk about that. We should study that. And we must educate and retrain Americans for the jobs of the future. And then I said, guys, I looked at the studies. We're terrible at that. Then the legislator would be like, well, I guess we're going to get better at it then. And then they'd just go back to their lunch. And I'd just be like, holy shit. Like, is this what passes for thinking, at this point? Are we so far gone as a country that we're not even reckoning with the fundamental changes that are devastating our communities? So what is the vision that actually helps address the devastation of the fourth industrial revolution on workers and communities around the country? If you've heard anything about me and my campaign, you heard something like this, Ohio. There's an Asian man running for president who wants to give everyone $1,000 a month. And the first time it sounded like a gimmick, a joke, too good to be true, will never happen, but this is not my idea. It's a deeply American idea embedded in our DNA. Thomas Paine was for it at the founding of our country, called it the citizen's dividend. Martin Luther King fought for it in the 60s, called it the guaranteed minimum income, and it is what he was fighting for the day he was assassinated in 1968. 1,000 economists endorsed it in the 70s. It was so mainstream, it passed the US House of Representatives twice. In 1971, came this close to being law, and one state actually passed a dividend about 10 years later where everyone in that state now gets between $1,000 and $2,000 a year, no questions asked. And what state is that? And how do they pay for it? And what is the oil of the 21st century? Technology, that's right. Amazon's paying zero in taxes. Google, Facebook, Uber, all these mega tech companies, they're investing billions in AI, and how much are you going to see of that? Zero. That's what we have to change. We have to make the economy work for us, the owners and shareholders of this country. They call it the oil check in Alaska, and they love it. We're gonna call this the tech check, and we're all gonna love it. Thank you very much. Let's make America think harder and win. Thank you.
100% think that's really important.
I don't think we're going to have a choice.